Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chicago Bears Daily. My name is Jackson, and my buddy Eric and I post daily Bears content, so hit that sub button if that interests you. And you enjoyed today's video, waking up to some pretty doggy down bad news, to be honest with you guys. Roquan Smith has officially requested a trade about 3 hours ago. Ian Rappaport reported that Roquan Smith has lost trust by what he believes are attempts to take advantage of him. Feels his entire process hasn't been a negotiation, just the Bears trying to strong arm him with a take it or leave it deal. Now, the reason this is very tricky is because not only do you have new management, new staff, new almost everything in town for the Chicago Bears, you also have a completely new scheme. And from the Bears' standpoint right now, with polls and just the Chicago Bears, you almost want to make sure that Roquan fits, right? Because Roquan fits very well in what the Bears used to run, a 3-4, and now Chicago is running a 4-3. And as an inside linebacker, do you want to give him a huge payday before you even see him in your new scheme? I know that they're practicing right now and they're in camp right now, but as of the time of this recording, we still have yet to see live action football. Camp's completely different than preseason, and preseason's completely different than the regular season. So I understand from the Bears' standpoint that you want to make sure it works. It makes sense in theory, but here's my thing. Teams that get rid of superstar players, just star-studded players, because of a new scheme, I think that's a very stupid way to go about it. I really don't think that that is the best way. Like I said, it makes sense why you don't want to give these guys major paydays when you haven't seen him in the action, but when you're choosing your scheme over your best player on your defense, that's where I see massive, massive issues. I do not think that's the way it should be in any way, shape, or form. So I understand both sides right now, and that's what's tough about it. Roquan Smith negotiating this contract with no agent also doesn't help. I get there are de-escalators in it, but still, when you're taking advice, especially financial advice, from a family member, somebody who doesn't have a history of negotiating contracts ever, let alone in the NFL, it just poses so many more little issues, and those add up, and this is what we're looking at right now. We're just looking at a whole mess. And so I think, some of my friends I've already been seeing, they think Roquan Smith is using this as a negotiation tactic. Look at DK Metcalf, look at Deebo Samuel this past season. I mean, requesting a trade and then signing extensions. So Roquan might be using this as bait. I have a hard time imagining that the relationship is severed, just a couple of weeks, just a couple of months into the polls era. So I'm really actually not that worried about the Roquan Smith situation at all. When we look at the Bears defense, they have some nice talent, but Roquan Smith is still, to me, at this point in time, by far one of the best Bears, he's the best defender on the team, but he's one of the best defenders at his position, one of the best defenders in the league in general. So you got to pay a guy like Roquan Smith, a guy who's only been in the league for a couple of seasons, a guy who is willing, with everything that has happened to the Bears, especially their defense last couple of years, just not falling apart, but slowly deteriorating. And you have Roquan, your best guy, who wants to stay in Chicago. Keep him in Chicago, man. Trust me, guys like Roquan Smith, they're few and far between. So that's really it for today. What I want you guys to do is go ahead, drop a comment down below. Do you think the Chicago Bears need to extend Roquan? Do you think Roquan is making a big deal out of this? Like I said, this is a not breaking news. It kind of is breaking news, but it's an evolving story. Like, this isn't just the end of it. So I can't think of the word, but insert word I'm thinking of, bang. So drop your comments down below on the Roquan Smith situation. Hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily Bears content. My buddy Eric and I will be covering this and all the other Bears news. So that's it. Peace.